Hello everyone, I'm Friz, this is John. We're in front of a bongo.
It's beautiful.
This weekend at the MCN Festival of Motorcycling, we rode a bunch of bikes, including the Zero DSR.
They're two adventure-styled electric bikes that I think have recently been released by the manufacturer. So we're quite keen to try those out, given that we both ride currently adventure-style bikes.
I've never ridden an electric before. We really enjoyed it. This is our views on it.
Oh, oh, that's nice.
Where's Harry? Harry!
That is really comfortable. So flick the switch and yeah, it's moving. I've just tried to grab the clutch and I don't have it. This is really weird.
Really quiet. It's really weird to stand next to so many bikes and not hear a bloody thing. It took me a while to work out. I was like, what's wrong?
I'm compelled to like rev.
Yeah.
But I
But I guess you can if you like. Won't do anything.
can't do anything at all. Hey, at least we can talk over them.
Mind you, I've got to be honest. As a driver, that's quite frightening though. Because I listen for sound.
Yeah, the Harley Davidson's making a lot of noise coming past us. So what have we got? We've got an adjustable screen.
That's a bit too high, can't see over it now. That's better.
It's a bit awkward when you're riding though to do that. It's a long way. I feel like I've got half the bike in front of me.
You know what though, the quality of this has gone up a hell of a lot.
We've got a place for our packed lunch in here as well. Give it a twist, no clutch, no gear. Ooh. Ooh. So here we are leaving the MCN Festival of Motorcycling on Zeros. What was the model? DSRX?
Yeah, DSRX.
You get like Ducati level engine braking when you let off the throttle. That's, or at least I do. We might not be running the same settings.
I don't get massive engine braking, it's very subtle.
Yeah, I let it off and it's like I've just pulled in the rear brake. Pulled in the rear brake. I mean, put my foot on the rear brake. What am I on, a scooter?
Very nice mirrors.
I have to say, this is super refreshing after being on that Toronto. And it's just silent. I don't know about that, you know. This riding position though is divine. It's very comfortable. In fact, you know what? It's kind of sad because I could do a lot of miles on this in a day, only the bike won't let me, because on a motorway it's something like 80 miles before you've got to charge it.
Well, on a high-powered charger, this will take an hour to 95%.
On a motorway, you could do those 80 miles in about an hour, especially if you're in like Europe or somewhere like that.
This feels a little bit like a jet engine. You know, it's like you accelerate, it spools up and it's like, oh, we're there. We got power. We're going. Oh, this is buttery smooth.
It is so smooth. It's really weird being really precise with the throttle. Now
I'm trying to grab the clutch there.
I was doing it as you were saying it. I don't want it to stall. But there is no clutch. So you've ridden an electric motorcycle before. You've ridden an older Zero.
An older Zero, but mine was the A2 compliant Zero that I rode, because it was all I had left over.
So a bit slower.
So it was a lot slower.
Rev it up!
This is a brand new DSRX to compete in the adventure market as an electric motorcycle, which is very different to your A2 type model. Now that Tiger is like the loudest thing. Yeah, looking good in green. You've got the pannier things and the top box. I don't. It's, I don't know if this is a low seat height or anything, but I could reach the floor very easily on this, despite it being a rather tall bike. Oh, have you got a bigger screen as well? Yeah, I've got this tiny screen.
Slightly bigger screen. I'm really taken by this bike.
It's just a shame about the range, isn't it? But I think that's summing up about every electric motorcycle review or anything really. It's nice bikes, but crap range.
I've just put it into normal mode now.
Oh, they told us not to, John.
I know, but I live life on the edge. What can I say?
Well, they won't have enough battery. How is normal mode?
Just feels normal. I mean, it's not bitey. It's smooth. There's a good increase in power.
You look good on it. It looks like a very appealing bike. I can't believe how smooth this is. Well, actually, I should be able to because it's an electric bike. Like, there is no moving parts. I just went to reach for the gears and they're not there. The suspension is like, is it electronic? It's not.
It's not electronic, it's just very, very well composed.
It doesn't feel bouncy, but
No.
I'm not feeling any of the road either.
It feels incredibly, incredibly smooth. Whatever suspension they've got on here is top class shit. It really is. It shouldn't feel this good.
It looks like it's fully adjustable as well. I was expecting it to be electronic with how smooth it is. It picks up quick, and yeah, with the settings that's on mine at the moment, it decelerates quick off the throttle as well. I'm gonna miss a lot of things about regular combustion engine motorcycles when we are in the world where we all have to be riding electric, and one of them will be the noise, the other one will be how changing gear engages you. But I'm getting the feeling from only 5 minutes on this that the essence of motorcycling, something I was afraid of was losing the essence of motorcycling. I have to say, the essence of motorcycling I don't think has gone anywhere by replacing the engine.
No, I don't feel like it has either. I mean, that overtake was wonderful, gorgeous and smooth.
Although I just tried to do that overtake then, and I felt like I was on a quite low capacity motorcycle to do that. Twisted the throttle and just didn't really go anywhere. Perhaps it's because of being in eco mode.
Hold down mode and then switch it. It takes 3 seconds of holding down mode for the switch to take place.
It doesn't feel like a push switch, it feels like a toggle. Not a toggle, left and right. It is once you've pushed it down. So there's standard and there's sport and there's
Standard Sport Canyon, I think.
I thought that said Canada for a minute there. Canada mode. And there's rain. So eco sport, standard, canyon, rain. Of course it's canyon because the bike's made in California, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, so I've just gone into standard as well, against the instructions that we were given. You gonna let us all go? Cheers. It's very, very easy riding this. Hello everyone. Hi. Hi. Hello. None of you look very interested at all. I'm gonna stop waving. Yeah, so electric bikes, they get their best performance in the cities and urban environments, and they feel very quick to pick up in that, like in those sorts of speed ranges as well. I think this would be a very nice, easy bike to ride around a city, even somewhere like London. You're in a nice, commanding position. You can able to see a lot. The handlebars are nice and wide and easy to let you like flick the bike around. The performance is wonderful. The lack of a clutch eases fatigue. The lack of having to change gear eases fatigue. There's a place for these. I just don't know if it's in globe-trotting. You know, I don't know if this would be a suitable bike for us to do that trip we're talking about into Turkey. Like, yes, you say it's an hour to charge to 95%, but if you've got to stop every hour to charge for an hour, that kind of sucks. That's weird, not being able to control my torque with a gear selector.
It's very sure-footed, though. I dabbed on the brake in that first corner, not really knowing what the response was going to be from the engine.
When you point it in a line and twist the throttle, it follows that line, doesn't it? And its handling defies its weight. Like, this is like a 300 kilogram bike.
Yeah, does not feel like it at all. But it really does pull like a train.
You were totally right about the performance in standard mode. I would like to do another overtake, please.
It's night and day, isn't it?
Yeah, the difference between standard and eco. I'm interested to see sport mode. My left foot is bored. What do you think? Could you see yourself owning one?
I would like to think that owning one of these was practical, but I don't think it is.
You know, for the kind of riding that you do day to day, you could probably get away with an electric one if you didn't have a car, if you replaced your car with
oh yeah, absolutely I could do.
Electric bike. But
yeah,
you know, when we go to somewhere like the London Cafe, you ride for an hour to get there. You would have enough fuel, you would have enough charge to get there, but you wouldn't have enough to get any further. And the Yonderman is the perfect place for us to stop and have breakfast, and we spend an hour there.
So my battery power now is 89%.
Yeah.
I've got 95 miles of range left predicted. Yonderman is about 70 miles from home, I believe. So...
Right. Is this where we're putting it into sport?
Yeah, do it quickly so nobody notices.
Really weird not pulling the clutch in. Right, sport mode, set. So sport traction control, road ABS. Yeah, so if the Yonderman Cafe installed chargers, then you could ride there, charge your bike, have your breakfast, and then... Well, you'd have to find another destination in the Peak District that also had chargers, wouldn't you? Because you'd need that full charge to go home.
Sport mode.
Sport mode.
Excellent.
I'm ready for sport.
Sport mode.
All sorted?
Oh, good.
I want to come up alongside you. I want to see you on the bike. Like, because that's important. They feel good. Do they look good? It's an important part of motorcycling, isn't it?
This definitely feels really nice, and like I said, I'm surprised at just how pleasant it is to ride.
Oh, two-stroke.
Start your engines.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, start your engines. I never turned it off. Could you not tell? Oh, okay. Sport has some immediate pickup.
And I've instantly lost 5 miles of range.
I keep reaching for a clutch that I don't have. Yeah, there's definitely there's a stance to this that defies its weight. It's really nice and low. I do want to find out if this is on a low seat or if it's a lowered suspension, because it would be probably the lowest adventure bike without any sort of lowering system if this is its normal height. I can flat foot it with both feet, and that is not normal for an adventure bike. Hi kid. That's it. Are kids gonna be upset now in the future? Because, you know, they're usually like, hey, rev your bike. You can't do that.
True.
Well, I can. I'll just leave. You won't hear me. I'll just zoom off in silence. Okay, yeah, it's got some pull now. Right. Into the 60. So so smooth it doesn't even feel like I've accelerated. Yeah, this has some poke. It really does, doesn't it?
It's wonderful. I never thought that I would actually like an electric bike as much as I like this. It's got the power, it's incredibly easy to ride in the cities, depending on your mode.
I wonder when electric bikes become more prevalent and you know, there's more of a selection to choose from. I wonder what sort of different bikes we're going to see and what will separate them from each other.
Very good point, actually. Yes,
because you don't have engine configurations, you just have an electric motor. There's not going to be a huge difference like there is between, you know, a big fat 500cc single and a 600cc inline 4. Hello, John. And silently we leave.
I just tried to change gear again then.
I don't know, it feels so smooth. I don't feel like I'm going fast. I feel like I'm going a lot slower than the speed says. Can't find my indicators again. I've just tried to change down gear. This is going to take some getting used to. There's a sort of Star Trek whir is the only sound you get, instead of a rumble from a big twin or the vroom vroom of a big 4. It's just
It's that sound itself is quite nice though.
It definitely sounds modern, I'll give you that, but it's not gonna set my heart on fire the same way that my Multistrada does at about 7,000 RPM. You know, and I can't put on a Termagioni or Akrapovic exhaust on this, can I? I can't. It sounds the way it sounds, and they all sound the same, more or less.
Gorgeous. Brake hard there.
Yeah, I've lost all my engine braking now. Eco setting on this must have been set up with a different regenerative braking that sport mode doesn't have. I would turn that right up. I am marvelling at this suspension.
It's majestic.
It is. It's not, as far as to say, a magic carpet ride, but it's comfortable.
I can definitely say that the technology's come a long way since I last rode electric. And apart from the charging issue, the technology's ready for mainstream.
Yeah, so this storage box that we have where you could put your picnic, your sandwiches, all that stuff, you can fill it with a fast charger or an extra battery. What I've seen is that it's much better to put a fast charger in it, because you're ready to stop at a certain point anyway, and you want to make that stop shorter. The extra battery just adds more weight, and so you don't get, like, it's not a 100% increase. It's an increase adjusted for the added weight that you put in. I think it's a good idea, though. I think it's a good idea to give people the option. I don't know how easy it is to swap them out, though. You could purchase an extra battery and a fast charging unit, and what would be ideal is to be able to swap them around depending on the sort of ride that you're doing. See, this bike just feels great. 10 out of 10 for a lot of it. Seriously, a lot of it. Not so much the price, but everything else just feels superb. It's comfortable, it's easy to control, it's lovely, but knowing that I've only got 80 miles of this before I've got to stop for an hour is sad, really sad. Hey, nice bike you got there. I'm not so fond of the mint green you've got going on.
I like it. I like mints. I'd call this bike mint. I'm going to go for a ride on mint.
I like how the dash is sort of set into it. It feels like part of the whole plastics and the fairing and that. This whole bike just feels really premium, but I wouldn't have one because of the range. We're arriving back now at the showground, so sum it up.
I genuinely feel like this is an absolutely phenomenal bike to ride. It really is. But the bike is better than the batteries. And when rapid charge, I'm not just talking about rapid charge an hour, I'm talking like rapid charge of like 10 minutes is a thing. Or when we can get these bikes to the range that cars are at currently, so like 300, then this will be a viable option, and I would absolutely love if that day was sooner than it actually is going to be. This is a wonderful bike with fantastic performance, so smooth, and I put it back into standard mode because I actually just prefer this ride in standard mode. It's just more pleasant. I would really like this bike. I think this is phenomenal.
It's going really slow. It's just
really well balanced.
It is. I'm going for that pothole. Oh! Go off-road. Here we go. Take the DSRX. Ooh.
Unfortunately, I don't have so much money that I can just splash it on a bike that I ride every now and again. This is a perfect city bike. It's a perfect local trip bike. Is it a perfect adventure bike? No, not until the battery technology improves. But they've made a stunning bike that, again, is just let down by the batteries.
I couldn't have one of these because it would get in the way of the sort of long distance touring we want to do. But I wish I could have one of these. I'm not as afraid about the future as I was now. You know, when we're forced to have electric bikes, it's good to know that it will still feel like a motorcycle. And that's that, I think. Right, I'm going to ask someone if it's been lowered, because that is beautifully low. And off. On. Off. Crazy. That is really low. Oh, it's a belt drive. I didn't notice. These bikes, is this the normal height or have they been lowered?
No, this is the normal height, but you can get different seat options.
Oh, wow.
Up or down.
It feels way lower than a normal adventure bike.
It does, doesn't it? But I think they've designed that with a purpose, because
Yeah.
you know how adventure bikes are shot up, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. That's the normal height, John.
That's great.
That's amazing. They are good looking. It's growing on me.